The Mongol Empire, at its peak in the 13th and 14th centuries, became the largest contiguous land empire in history. Spanning from the shores of China to the gates of Vienna in Europe, the Mongols' incredible military prowess and brutal tactics left an indelible mark on the world. Genghis Khan, the empire's most famous leader, is often remembered for his ruthless strategies, his conquests, and his role in shaping the fate of vast civilizations. This video delves into the life of Genghis Khan, his rise to power, and the vast empire he built through fear, conquest, and innovation. The Mongol Empire's vast reach. At the height of the Mongol Empire, it stretched across Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. The Mongols conquered a wide range of territories, including present-day China, the Himalayas, the Middle East, much of Russia, and parts of Europe. The Mongols used their cavalry as the backbone of their military strategies, traversing these vast distances on horseback. Their unique style of warfare, coupled with their sheer size, allowed them to dominate large swaths of the globe. Despite the enormous size of their armies, the Mongols were more feared for their psychological tactics than their numbers. Their method of warfare relied heavily on terror and intimidation, tactics that would become synonymous with their rule. The early life of Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, born as Temujin around 1162, grew up in a harsh world where survival often depended on sheer brutality. The Mongols, like the Vikings of Northern Europe, were a tribal society that valued strength, ruthlessness, and loyalty. Temujin's early life was filled with hardship, notably the murder of his father, which set the stage for his later rise to power. Temujin's father, a tribal leader, was poisoned by the Tatars when Temujin was just a young boy. This betrayal fueled Temujin's desire for revenge, a trait that would define his career. In his early years, he struggled to survive, but by the age of 20, Temujin had become a formidable leader, commanding his own clan and army. It was this early thirst for revenge that would drive him to become one of history's most notorious conquerors. The murder of Temujin's half-brother. A pivotal moment in the early life of Temujin was the murder of his half-brother, Bektir. According to one version of the story, Bektir stole food that Temujin had caught for his family. When Temujin confronted him, Bektir refused to share, sparking a deep resentment. Temujin secretly followed his brother, waiting for the right moment to strike, and killed him with a Mongol bow. Other versions suggest that Bektir's leadership style caused friction within the family. His arrogance and abuse of power led Temujin to see him as a threat, and he seized the opportunity to eliminate his half-brother. This event marked a crucial turning point in Temujin's journey to power, and he soon took control of his tribe. Revenge against the Tatars. Temujin's thirst for vengeance did not stop with the murder of his brother. His father's death at the hands of the Tatars haunted him throughout his youth. After uniting his clan, Temujin sought revenge against the Tatars, who had played a key role in his father's death. In a decisive battle, Temujin's forces massacred a large portion of the Tatar army, capturing thousands of prisoners. He ordered a ruthless collective punishment. All adults were killed, except for a few children and infants. This display of ruthless justice was just a precursor to the extreme measures that Temujin would later employ in his quest for empire. His actions were not simply about revenge, but about sending a powerful message to anyone who dared to oppose him. The Siege of Beijing and the Mongol pyramids. One of the most notorious episodes during Genghis Khan's rise to power was the Siege of Beijing in 1215. After 3 years of relentless siege, the Mongols finally broke through the city's defenses. The residents, desperate to survive, resorted to cannibalism. When the Mongols entered the city, they executed tens of thousands of people. What followed was even more gruesome. The Mongols built large pyramids outside Beijing, made entirely of human skulls. These pyramids served as a warning to other cities that dared to resist the Mongols. The gruesome scene left a lasting impression on those who saw it, and the fear of Genghis Khan's wrath spread throughout the known world. The Mongol Strategy. A message of terror. The Mongols were not just known for their military might, but for their psychological warfare. When approaching enemy cities, the Mongols sent messengers with an ultimatum: surrender and you will be spared. Resist and face complete annihilation. This method was incredibly effective in breaking the will of their enemies, as many cities preferred to surrender rather than face the horrific consequences of resistance. It's estimated that during Genghis Khan's lifetime, between 5 to 10% of the world's population was killed, either directly or indirectly, as a result of his campaigns. The Mongols were relentless, and their ability to strike fear into their enemies made them an unstoppable force. The role of Genghis Khan's daughters. Genghis Khan's daughters played a significant role in the expansion of the Mongol Empire. In a society where power was often passed down through men, Genghis's daughters were crucial in maintaining Mongol influence. They were often married off to rulers of other tribes or to allies and enemies alike. Marrying into Genghis Khan's family brought power and prestige, but it also came with a heavy price. The men who married his daughters were expected to rid themselves of all other wives, ensuring that the children born to the Khan's daughters would inherit the Mongol throne. These marriages were often political tools designed to secure alliances, but they were also perilous for the men involved. Many of them were sent to the front lines, where they met their deaths. The destruction of the Kazm Empire. One of the most significant events in Genghis Khan's reign was his invasion of the Kazm Empire, which is located in present-day Iran and Central Asia. The conflict began when the Kazm Empire executed a Mongol trade delegation, suspecting it of espionage. Genghis Khan, enraged by this affront, sent a second group of diplomats, but they were also executed. In retaliation, Genghis Khan gathered an army of 200,000 men and launched a devastating campaign. The Mongols overwhelmed the Khwarezmian forces and systematically destroyed their cities. Genghis Khan ordered that all towns, castles, and fortresses be erased, and the inhabitants were either killed or enslaved. The Kazm Empire was effectively wiped from the map, and the Mongols ensured that no trace of the civilization remained, even going as far as diverting a river to cover up their tracks. The tragic end of Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan's reign of terror continued for many years, but in 1215, tragedy struck. During a campaign against the Shashia people, Genghis Khan was thrown from his horse and severely injured. He died shortly after from his wounds, leaving the Mongol Empire without its most formidable leader. Genghis Khan's burial site remains one of history's greatest mysteries. It is believed that his body was buried in a simple, traditional Mongol grave to prevent looting. The grave was so well hidden that even today, its exact location remains unknown. The Mongols, fearing desecration, reportedly killed everyone who knew the site's location to ensure its secrecy. The legacy of Genghis Khan. Despite his brutal methods, Genghis Khan's legacy cannot be denied. He transformed the Mongol Empire into one of the most powerful and enduring empires in history. His leadership not only established a global empire, but also reshaped trade, culture, and even communication across vast territories. The Pax Mongolica, a period of relative peace under Mongol rule, facilitated trade and cultural exchange between East and West, making significant contributions to the development of the Silk Road. While Genghis Khan's reign is often remembered for its bloodshed and brutality, it also played a crucial role in shaping the modern world. His empire laid the foundations for the eventual unification of China, the spread of Islam, and the expansion of trade routes that connected disparate parts of the world. As we reflect on the ruthlessness and legacy of Genghis Khan, it's clear that his impact on history is both profound and chilling. From his bloody conquests to his strategic brilliance, Genghis Khan's reign reshaped the world in ways few could ever imagine. His story is one of power, survival, and ambition, but also of unimaginable cruelty. If you found this video from the life of Genghis Khan both fascinating and shocking, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.